Hello everybody and welcome to my latest video. So today I'm on a festival match at Little John's on Robin Hood. It's gonna be chaos. You're gonna need a big weight to win this match today. I've drawn okay. I'd have preferred to have been in the middle pegs, but I'm on an M peg, I'll take it. I'm gonna throw here first of all for the first few hours of the match, right there where I've frozen it, and hopefully get out plenty of fish without losing too many. Now a lot of the regulars usually fish it short on here, whether it be a top kit and two. Some will fish in the middle, but not really much further than that on the pole. And they're usually using either hard pellet or paste. Last time I came here, I had a nightmare for just foul looking fish and losing them. And I didn't want to repeat that. It's a festival. I need to do as good as I can. So I know with the method or the hybrid feeder, I can get fish in the mouth and get out a maximum amount as possible. You will still lose the odd one, but it's pretty rare compared to a pole. So this is my idea: throw to the island, get as many out as I can until I think it's dried up or it's just not being effective enough, and then I'm going to go in the margin. I'm not even going to bother fishing in front with a pole. I have been throwing pellets at the end of my tip just in case I do see any signs underneath it. I can just drop the feeder there, and I will just keep doing that through the match. It just gives me a plan B in case the island does start to slow up. Now the trade-off with this fishing is at the islands they do tend to be much smaller fish, so fishing short on a pole has the advantage that you can get those bigger fish. So this is the trade-off that I'm going for. That's a decent size one, £3, you don't mind those. Now I am doing 3-minute chucks max. If I start to see the bites come much quicker than that, so if they're starting to be within 1 minute or 2 minutes, then I will adjust my chucking time to those minutes accordingly as well. No point waiting 5 minutes if you're getting your bites in the first minute. Just keep putting that feed in, they'll keep coming in and keep taking that bait. I did the old classic, have a look somewhere else and wait for the rod to go around, work to treat.
Cheers,
So
mate.
Adam there to my right, he is fishing short. I think he's on top kitten 1, and he's getting some really big size fish. So in my section he's definitely took the lead, and he's took off like an house on fire, to be honest. I'm still going to stick to this because at the end of the day, once you get this ticking over, you can start to generate a really good weight. Everybody's going to catch fish on this lake. It is full of fish. You've just got to try and get out as much as you can. I can only concentrate on the fish that are in front of me. Now all the space that you can see there to the left, I can't chuck to any of that. Anything that's beyond the platform to the left of me I can't throw to, so quite gutted about that really, because there's some really nice features to the left which I think would have been holding quite a few fish, but it is what it is. So I've just thrown in front. This left margin looks awesome. I've not gone to that side, so even though that is where the end of the lake is, whenever I plumbed it up I had an absolute nightmare. It's just all over the shore. I kept getting snagged up. Complete nightmare. The only place I could find that had a nice bottom where I could present some bait was literally on a top kit to my right. So in this video you will see me in the margin, and that is where it will be, literally on a top kit to the right of me. Very rarely fish a top kit in a margin. A lot of anglers do. I prefer to fish a bit longer than that down the margin personally, but it was the only place I could find that felt right. And you'll see that later in the video. Disappointing though, because this left side looks absolutely awesome, but
That's a nice
it was
one.
proper snag central.
There we go. good fish.
If you're enjoying the video so far, please give it a like. It really does make a difference to this video and my channel. Also, if you've not subscribed yet, please hit the subscribe button. It's completely free and I don't want you to miss any of my future videos. Thank you. As you can see here, the bites are awesome. You cannot miss these. You do have to get onto them pretty quick though, because they will try their hardest to get around the islands, and these fish are rapid. It is shallow here, so they can't go down, they can only go out, and that's why they absolutely take off. So this rod I'm using, this is a carp feeder rod. I do have some lighter rods, but I just felt like I needed something with a bit more backbone, so I put this one on, and this is working a treat. I mean, I'm starting to get some much better sized fish now. As per usual, the weather has been very challenging. As you'll see in most of my videos this year, it's usually blowing a gale or raining. There's no what I can do about it, I'm really sorry. Now when the weather is like this, it's important that you have the right balance. So that island's probably 20 meters away. Normally I'd use a 15 gram hybrid, but because of the wind, I've put on a 20. That's going to give me much better accuracy and not cause too much of a splash when it goes in. So keep that in mind. You know, always try and get away with as light as you can, but if the weather is going to mean that your accuracy is not going to be as good, switch up to an higher weight and then you'll get your accuracy back.
Good fish. A bit too soon.
So I've not edited this bit at all, so you've just seen me cast it in and you're going to see how quickly I get a bite. It really is not long at all, and this is what was happening a lot. So often I was getting bites in less than 1 minute. That's a pretty fast catch rate. Even though they're small fish, you can put up a big weight really fast. And just like that it went. So I think from chucking it in to the bite was less than 30 seconds. It's important that you keep track of that, because if your bites are coming that quickly, there's no point doing 3-minute chucks. You can bring it down to 2 minute or 1 minute. Don't be afraid to do that. You will see a pattern in which your fish are in and out, and if you're just leaving it there for 3 minutes but they're coming in that first minute, they've either took it or they haven't, you're just wasting 2 minutes per chuck. And over a match, that can make you lose a lot of your match time. It's about efficiency. So after that fish, I probably went 10 minutes without a bite, even though that one went so quickly. So I've decided to try a different hook bait. So I'm going for 6 reds on the hook. It's something I've used the last month or so at quite a few venues, and it's been pretty lethal, to be honest. So I'm going to give it a go here and see if they take this. Looking at that bite, it was almost jabbing a little bit, which would make me think it's either a small carp or maybe even a skimmer. I think they're just being a little bit crafty with it. But either way, that went within 3 minutes, that bite. So moving on to the red maggots has definitely got me a fish. So that is a good quality carp, a lot bigger than what I thought that bite suggested. So it's been very cagey with it. However, it's took it. They definitely clocked onto that pellet I was using before, and they were ignoring it. I could see the tails because it's only shallow over there. I could see them coming in, stealing the micros and going out. Now these maggots, they definitely find it hard to resist. So there we go, fish on again. And that is another quality size fish, so there's definitely been an improvement on average size with those maggots. Now the lads to my right, which are in my section, they've started to catch down the edge and they're getting really good sized fish, so I'm not going to be able to fight them off for much longer. So at some point I am going to have to go down this margin whether I like it or not, so I'm just going to pre-feed that now. I have 1 or 2 more chucks on the feeder and then I'm going to have to go down the edge. Now that bucket of bait you're looking at, all that was is 2 bags of micros and 2 tins of corn. Just put a load of water in the bucket. I don't care about how much, it just needs to go over the micros. They'll drink that water, swell up massively. That gives me a load of bait that I can just keep putting in that margin when I need it.
Control. haven't they, little bugger? It's gotta be on.
If you've never fished here before, I do highly recommend it. I know a lot of people that have got their personal best weight from this venue. Lots of anglers have done 200 to 300 pound here. I personally have never done 200 pound here. I've come quite close a few times, but it's definitely achievable. If you came here regular, you'd massively achieve over the 200 pound weight.
Nice fisher.
And that is another nice fish. I mean, the island has been very rewarding for me. I don't think anybody has been as prolific chucking to the far side as myself, so I know I've done a lot of things right. I feel like it was definitely the best place to start with. Like I said, I could have fished short on a pole, I could have fished midway, but in my experience, you get a lot of foul hook fish, and a lot of the time you don't get them out. I need to be as efficient as I can. I know this is going to be a fish race. It's the ones in your net that are going to be the most important to you. It's not about hooking 500 fish. It's about getting out what you can. So I'm going to go down the edge now, and I've decided I'm going to go with meat. Now the big fish in here, especially in the edge, and big fish love meat. It's not something I use very often. I prefer to use corn, worm, pellet, but I've got some, and why not? So I'm going to cut off about half a centimetre to a centimetre's worth of depth, and then I'm going to use a guru punch to, I think I'm going on an 8mm or a 10mm. And you know, if they take it quickly, then I know that's fine. If I'm waiting ages, I might drop down to a smaller size. But definitely I'm going to start with a big size because they're big fish and I want to target the big fish. I'm starting to fall behind and I need to try and catch up. So I'm on a 0.5 T-Nook margin float, 7 number 8 strung out so they lay nicely, 12 MWG hook and 0.20 uplink. Really strong. There shouldn't be anything breaking me today on that setup. Wow, didn't wait too long at all. Really good bite, absolutely buried, that's what I'm looking for. So importantly, when you are feeding a lot of bait into an edge, you need to make sure that the float is burying, because there's going to be lots of fish in there. They're going to be knocking your float all over, it's going to dip and stuff like that. Do not go for those. Only take it when it absolutely buries.
Fish.
That is an absolutely stunning fish. You would think that you would see something that bright right close to you like that, but no. That is how good they are at sneaking in and out. But a good size, automatically you can see that is straight away the biggest fish I've had in this match. Now, every fish I caught, I put another big cup straight in. That's why I've got a big bucket of bait. There is a lot of fish here. So that float again, that dipped a couple of times. Some people might have struck at that. I'm not saying they will have foul hooked it, but I weren't taking any chances. I'm going to be patient. I am happy to wait for it to bury. It's buried and I've got this fish in the mouth. And look how quickly I've got that fish out. Literally seconds. Now this elastic I'm using, it's the MAP 20 hybrid elastic. You'll see it in a lot of my videos. I really like it. This is just a MAP short kit as well, so there's not going to be much elastic in it, but it will stretch further than you would imagine. It is, you know, it does give you some leniency with that. It's not too brutal, and that's why I like it. So fish in the net, refeed, straight back in. It is as simple as that. You can see the fish just churning up the bottom there. It's just, you see those like dark clouds in the waterway. It's digging its head in, trying its hardest to rub your hook off or whatever it is that they're doing. But you just got to be brave, especially when you're on a short kit, because you're quite close to your stage, you're quite close to your nets. There's loads of things that can wrap round. You've got to get a lot of elastic out quickly, hold them and put on enough pressure to encourage them out, but not enough that you obviously pull the hook out. You don't want to do that. So once you get that balance right, margin fishing becomes a lot easier and you can generate a big weight really quickly.
Good fish. Beautiful.
So that bite was quite interesting. It kind of went down a little bit. It's just swallowed it. I don't know if it's realised it's hooked and then it's bolted, and then you've just seen the float absolutely bury. And that is the sweet spot. That is as good as it gets. That fish is on. And every fish I've had so far has been in the mouth. So even though there's loads and loads of bait down there, and there'll be a lot of carp there, because I'm keeping tight up to the edge, preventing them from getting around it, and it's a really big bait that they're more than likely going to target as soon as they see it. This is really helping my margin fishing.
You what? This elastic don't mess about.
So that fish definitely was not happy with me. The way it came up, where it was really visible before it launched, that's telling me it's more than likely foul hooked, this fish. They don't usually do that when you've got them in the mouth, as you've seen in all my other shots before. So this one's probably foul hooked. Yeah, I call it foul hooked, so it was under the gut, and that makes sense because it came straight up, so you obviously pulled them up when you've struck, and then they've launched. Luckily I've got it in a fin. You don't usually lose them if you get them in the fin, so straight back in, feed it up. Here we go again. the landing net handle, timed that to perfection. What a time to come apart when I've got my biggest fish. Anyway, we got away with that one. This is the biggest fish I've probably had so far, so that's a good sign. You will start to notice that the bigger fish knock around with each other. So fingers crossed there's some more big dogs like that one in that edge. So we'll feed it back up again, straight back in. So that is definitely foul hooked. It's gone round the leg and just past the keep net. So I'm going to thread the top kick through and I'm going to get away with it.
That's a new one. First time I've ever had to do that. Thread top kick through platform. Little bugger.
So yes, I got him in the side wing and that's how he'd managed to go wherever he wanted. When they foul hooked, you have no control over him, but I managed to get away with that. So feed again, straight back in. So that is a reasonably good sized fish. I'm happy with that. Definitely got them going now. Just need to keep going with it and fingers crossed we can get a decent result. Straight back in with the feed and straight back in down the margin.
That's a big fish. That's a good fish, that one. That ones we want.
Exactly as I said, they are the ones that we want. Now, The big fish have got massive mouths, so they can eat a lot of bait. So you might think I am putting a lot of bait in this edge, but they can destroy that cup just by themselves. And these are in big groups, so they are destroying this bait so quickly, and that's why you must keep putting it in. For experience here, if you don't feed heavy down these edges, they will not come in. It's like they back off each feed. You can tap in a few pieces, you might get the odd carp, but not like this. You keep putting it in and they will keep coming in, but you might only get a few minutes per feed, so you just have to keep putting it in.
It's another good one.
I did say they hang around with each other. I'm not lying. Nobody ever believes me. Honestly, they're like a pack of dogs. You get a big one, he'll be with his best mates. You get your little ones first, then the big dogs come in, bully them out, keep feeding them, and you keep catching those big dogs. So we're starting to get towards the end of that bucket now. That is how much I've fed, and the fish still keep coming. You just saw a shake of the camera there. That's why the elastics bounced back and hit me right on the end of the fingers. Trust me, that really hurt. I did well not to swear there.
Another good one. That was 6 or 7.
Just a bit better than yesterday, hasn't it?
Oh, thank God. I couldn't deal with that again.
I'd have been playing
So I'm living the absolute dream now. The fish are taking it in the mouth every single time.
Yeah. 4 times
And
I've
it's
tried to
really
get a
good
video
sized
there,
fish.
Never once been
In
successful.
margins
It's always-
terms, it doesn't get any better than this.
Yeah. Right then. That's one.
I must have got that fish out in about 20 seconds. That is how good this elastic is, and what a nice fish to end on. Let's see how we got on.
That's 2. Well done.
You got?
I've had about 180 and I've come nowhere.
$27.3. You was a lot more than you think. How much did you think I'd got?
I don't know, you sneaking them out.
What's the odds here, mate? 51. 3. 51.3.
If that's 51.3, I've definitely got more than what I think. Hmm. Well, I always click onto 40 and I put one more extra fish in after.
You ought to do that to Bridges. That would be brilliant, that, wouldn't it? It's disqualified.
Help me, alright.
Just go and put the tire up that way.
Yeah, yeah, we've took
Right,
to
mate.
one side, pal,
Yeah.
thank you.
54.5.
Bridges has got
Yeah. You always do, you know, ain't that? That's where they look best. There you go. About 8 mil, weren't they? Feel like them here.
53.5?
Hey, what you called?
I've got about 180.
He says that wasn't.
To 11.
I put that in with half an hour left.
Well done.
15. £12.
44.10.
Boy, that is such,
You get
you can put
bollocked.
one big
I know.
fish in and do that. It's
Yeah,
just
you get
too
bollocked
much.
if you get to 50.
It's not right, that.
You should be putting more in that. Hey?
40 should be more than enough.
Count about 56 in that.
£60. 63 in it. 63 in it.
I tried to be over generous with clicking, so
I know. I was sick. Get scared, don't you?
yeah, especially them little ones, they catch me out at Lodge Farm all the time. You think they're £2 and they're free, and if you get 10 of them,
46.6.
Then you go.
Remember at least.
No, 39.1.
I'm not doing for 7 months.
So when you lift them
I'll call some fish, I'm happy.
What more than what we can go to?
I know, I don't go anymore. Quad over it.
52.1.
Look at that. I told you what, Tom.
58.11.
Well done, mate. Did a bit of Tourette's
Stop
on
it.
this going, right?
Well, there's not been fish, has there?
up.
25.2.
14.5 metres. Don't feed no, just keep putting them in and it just goes. If I'd not seen someone do it, I wouldn't have believed it.
Yeah.
I used to fish here all the time, but I changed my days off at work, so I don't get here now.
44.13. Hold on, mate.
Is there? I know there's quite a few made marrying, isn't there? Caught that sturgeon on...
Like 8 old blocks collapsed.
41.8.
Alright.
You had to sit and listen to this and all, Caps. 41.3.
I know, yeah.
Oh, but you alright?
Yeah, but I don't know. I'll end up using a magic folder for it.
42.1.
I'll get disqualification, that one, isn't it? Well, if you put £50 in the net for your chip, do you get another one? Ah, so it's under 50, that's disqualified, I know, is it?
42.14.
All in she clip.
It's your bum time. 15.11.
Go on, Paul.
Been some abuse flying around on this bank, I'll tell you.
I know.
All from you.
I saw you. When you threatened to
It's
take
Paul,
milk,
keep-
when you threatened to
keep
take your
on
biscuits,
doing
that's what it was.
Tomorrow. You'll be alright tomorrow.
46.10.
Why?
This
What you want it?
No, innit?
Good.
For no reason.
Probably could have put both of them together.
David's not in it. What you done?
£40 dead.
Go, so.
No, that's my last net. That.
That'll
This
get
is
no.
it.
Is this it?
This one.
Dave. I'll three blockhead. Blockhead.
15.10. You call these on.
Why?
They're mine.
Trust you impeccably, Adam. But I want Dino's doing it.
£2.3.
We've brought somebody in to do it. Oh no, he's
call it,
hang on, it's after the
He's
Adam.
doing my section.
I know, he's got a big weight, hasn't he?
No, I ain't caught it.
Paul's the man, he's the man who's going to have more discrepancies than you.
36.11.
That's alright. Yeah, don't go near that. Nick walked in it.
He's done that.
Nick walked in it.
Old as that one.
That's Mary, that. If anybody else,
Yeah.
they don't
Yeah.
at all, he'd go mad, wouldn't he?
45.6.
That's alright.
Same, I've got something to call.
I did them all to 40 and then added one more in.
I've the same rubbish.
Little tip fish on.
41.7.
Give him tomorrow. Wait, Friday.
You got me?
You take this give him Friday.
This way? Yeah, God, I would do here just that.
I mean this
I'd take just that one, yeah.
47.6.
Yeah.
A big 8mm wafter on a size
Look at them.
12 volts and just let it sit.
Nice fish, Sam.
Like ringer does and just have it.
Come with that.
That
No, it's not all.
That one biggest than that one.
5.12. Oh!
Lots of grunting.
189 and 15 pence.
I'm sorry about the blurry image, it's not my picture. But big well done to Paul Butcher. He's had £269 and 9 ounces and absolutely hammered the pond. I have had £189 and 15 ounces and come third out of a 4-man section. So not a great result, but that is the best weight I've ever had on that pond. So do I feel like I did things right? Absolutely. It's a massive improvement on any weights I've ever had on this pond before. I can't do any more than that. Basically, the lads to my right caught well down the edge and they were getting bigger fish. And there's not much I can do about that. If you would like to use any of the floats that you've seen in any of my videos, go onto Facebook, like this page, I'll approve it. We post daily. Floats are starting from £1.45 per float. Go and grab yourself a bargain. And that is it for another video. This might be my last one for a while. Winter is coming. The fishing isn't that great in the winter, so it's going to be hard to make a decent video. But I will try. If I do get the opportunity, I will definitely put more videos out throughout the winter. But until next time, tight lines and city.
Up the T-Nooks.